Alright guys, Punisher Max 17 here, and this is basically an update status kind of video on this right here, the HMM Blade Liger AB Bang version, Leon version, whatever it's technically called. I had somebody asking about what the status was, or showing off how far I've gotten on it and things like that. And so I just thought I'd throw this video up here. I still haven't finished it. I haven't done any more work on it since the last work in progress I posted. I'm not sure how far exactly it was last time a work in progress was put up, but this is what I have done now. Most of just the main body, of course, and the tail. Now I stopped working on this guy and picked up with something else a while back for a couple reasons. For one, I got really frustrated with it. Sometimes the paint just didn't come out like I wanted the paint to. I was getting annoyed with the metallic stuff. And then I had a few pieces that just, the paint seemed to go bad on them for some reason or other, and I don't really know why that was. And I got pretty frustrated with it, quite simply. So I put it to the side, started something else, just so I didn't get really burnt out on the project. And the other reason being is this is entirely painted in Alclad metallic paints. This is gone over and candy coated, and all the rest of this is just Alclad by itself. And that's really expensive. Alclad paints are between $10 and $12 a bottle, and one bottle will paint, it's been a while since I've used them, but roughly two and a half runners, 3 if you're lucky. So it's a very, very expensive paint to use, and quite simply, at this point in time, I'm not able to afford that kind of money to paint something like this. I'd have to go buy 5 or 6 bottles of the Alclad paint just to finish work on this, and it's just a lot easier for me right now to use paints I already own to paint things, you know. So that's basically why I stopped working on it. Like I said, this is the progress I've made so far. All that I have left is the 4 legs and the attack boosters. I have a few random things, some stuff that I have already completed in a box here. But like I said, there's some pieces that just went bad. Honest to God, I have no idea why it happened. Whenever I was working on this, on pieces that I completed but didn't necessarily need to assemble yet, I would take the piece, put it in a plastic container, and set it aside. Much like I do with every other model I've ever worked on. But I had some pieces that ended up looking like this. As you can see there, where the paint just eroded away. They're in the middle of the piece, and then a lot right there, and I'm really not sure why that happened. I'm also unhappy with the paint application on some of that too. But I also had the blades that did the same thing. Looks perfectly fine on this side. I'm really happy with how it looks here. And then you turn it around and it did that. And I have no idea why it did that. So, but I have a whole lot of other pieces in here that have been painted. All the tops of the leg parts, things like that. So, I have a decent amount of work done on this guy. I got really frustrated with it, in all honesty, with between the paint not working on some pieces and the expense and things like that. I just kind of put this guy to the side, started moving on with some other model kits. So yeah, for those of you wondering what's going on with my Blade Liger, this is the status of it right now. Someday I will finish it. I promise you that I will finish this model kit. It's just probably not going to be any time in the next few months. You know, I may come back to it here in 6 months. I may come back to it in a year. I don't know. I will say that digging this guy out of my the box I had this piece right here in, looking at it has kind of reignited my interest in working on it. It looks nicer than I remember it looking. You know, with my frustration, I just had this mental image that it looked absolutely terrible. But looking at it here, it looks nicer than I remember it looking, but it's still going to be at least 3 or 4 months before I even consider working on this again. But yeah, that's about it for this video. I just wanted to update you guys with where I was at with that, so that those of you wondering would know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.